Hello, I'm Tiffany Rothman. Welcome back to Filter 90211. And guess what? My wonderful co-host Chris Sloan is back from Las Vegas today. Welcome back, Chris. I miss you.
I missed you too. I'm glad to be back. Excited.
That's great. Did you gamble at all?
I did not.
Oh, good.
No
good.
gambling.
Good. So you kept your promise. I like that.
I did. I told you I wasn't going to gamble.
Thank you for keeping your promise. So, hey everyone, we're excited today to introduce our sponsor for today's episode, Spiritual Yoga Meditation Healer. Today, our guest is one of my very dear friends, Dr. Phil Nguyen, a wonderful guy and a great actor. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you, Tiffany. So glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. Phil and I met when we were doing a film called My Vietnam. That's how we met.
Yeah.
What was it about?
It's about a story of a family,
Yeah.
immigrant, Vietnamese American, and what they went through together as a family.
I played a Buddhist monk.
Oh, very cool.
Had my head all
Oh,
shaved.
you know what? I saw that picture in the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Suited you well.
I played the sister-in-law.
And our other guest today is Kareem Leferro,
Hello, hello.
a multi-talented actor, writer, and a comedian who stars in another show on our 90211 network called Beverly Hills 90211. You can follow Kareem on Twitter at twitter.com/Kareem Leferro. So welcome, Kareem.
Hi, thanks for having me, and sorry for coming in as a disembodied voice before my introduction.
That's okay. I hear voices all the time.
Doesn't he has a great sense of humor?
He does, absolutely.
That's my co-host, Chris Sloan.
I'm here for this co-host love.
So, now,
So what's next, Tiffany?
next is welcome to another
Next is the
inspiring...
war in Russia.
I'm hearing voices again.
Yeah, what's next?
George, what are we doing
Did you say
next?
the war in Russia?
I
The
think that's
war
what
on
he
Russia.
said.
So
We're going to do. Oh, wow, I didn't know we were going to get into geopolitics.
No comment.
So next...
let's have a different subject than that. Don't forget to stay connected with Filtered 90211. We are now on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, which I'm excited about. We'll provide the links in the description below. George will do that. And Tiffany, what if somebody wanted to promote their business on our show?
They're more than welcome to. I today would like to promote something from Papa and Barkley, one of my friend's company, and it's called One Relief Tincture, and it's supposed to be pain relief and relaxation. And I took a bunch of it last night, and I had great sleep.
You mentioned something about the word, you said overdose. Is that kind of normal?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Did
all
you really
depends.
overdose on it?
No, I was kidding.
what kind
Oh.
of tincture is it?
Okay.
Sorry?
What kind of tincture is it?
So, here. Whoops.
I'm hearing noises again in my head.
Would you like to see it?
Sure, absolutely.
So now we're sharing. Is this kind of
The acrobatics
Is it
of
holistic?
the podcast room.
Is it natural?
Yes.
Okay, it's a CBD THC balanced relief tincture. Okay.
I was going
That's
to
a
ask
little
if
bit
it's
of
a
both.
CBD.
Yeah, no, well, CBD and THC, so you get the
It's called
relaxation and the
stacking.
fun time.
It's called stacking. Let me see that.
So-
And this would be delivered sublingually, right?
Well,
in
you
your
can
mouth.
put them under your tongue,
Yes.
to try it.
Through the sublingual gland. Okay. I will try it tonight because I don't want to
Are
go
you
to sleep
the
now.
doctor, Chris?
No, but I played one on TV. No, actually I didn't. But I'd like to.
I haven't played one on TV yet. I'm a real doctor, but I haven't
I
played
think
one
you
on
could be an
TV
expert on
yet.
that.
The funny thing is, I had my sister tell me, when I first started getting into acting, my sister said, let me get this straight. So you're a doctor, but you want to play a doctor on TV. Like, yeah, exactly.
Less liability when you play one on TV.
That's very true. Very true.
I'm sure.
You're a doctor, but you really don't want to be a doctor, but you want to play one on TV. Like, yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't have any problem.
And we were actually talking when we first arrived today, and I was asking you about what you specialize in, and you were telling me you do Botox and fillers, and I said, well, perfect place because we're in Beverly Hills, right? And I was like, could I get one of those like EpiPens, but Botox, so I could just like walk around like every now and then whenever I feel like it,
And
just
poke your phone in your
poke
face?
myself
Yeah.
and
No, you cannot.
keep the wrinkles
No,
away.
no way. That would be too dangerous.
Well,
Can
you
I
have
do
to have a
that?
lot of experience doing it before you should do it on yourself. And I actually have done it on myself before because I've been doing it for 20 some years. But ever since I got into acting about 4 years ago, I stopped doing any Botox on myself because I really need all of the lines to express my emotions.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It freezes your face.
Yes,
So
who would want that? You talk with your face.
Absolutely.
Let the wrinkle show the experience that you have.
And I remember when people were really starting to use Botox more in the entertainment industry, and the feedback is there, it's not good. You're not going to be able to show your expression. You can't frown. You can't really do anything. And, it really does make a whole lot of sense. But then you still want to kind of look good. So you want kind of the best of both, but it's really difficult. And then when the evolution of high definition came into play, and I remember I got my first plasma TV, it was like 2006. And back then you can buy a high definition television, but not every broadcast was in high def. Mm-hmm. And you had to only watch certain channels then to be able to get a high def transmission. And when you did, you actually really got to see lines on people's faces that you never saw before. I think, and that was when Botox really started to explode as well. So you have Botox itself, then you have people in the industry saying, oh, I just saw myself on high definition and it didn't look good, and then you start jabbing yourself with Botox, but then you lose the ability to use your muscles because, it paralyzes the muscle.
It does, because these lines up here, if I Botox them, they would totally be gone. And I'd have a hard time lifting my brows, for the surprise look. I'm like, are you serious?
Can you push it a little tiny bitsy thing?
You can do what's called baby Botox, so small
One
little
of the
units.
baby
so that-
Doctor, you should not be giving Botox to babies. Come on.
And they're really wrinkly too, babies. they're the most wrinkled, they come out, and it's kind of ironic because you're a baby and you're naked and wrinkly, and then I could picture myself in a nursing home when I'm 90, naked and wrinkly, or maybe in my underwear in a diaper, and wrinkly. So we come into the world wrinkly, and we go out wrinkly.
I'm here for your Church of the Wrinkles.
Thank you. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever, so you're not even worried about it. But
it's like the beginning. Yeah, it's the beginning.
Sooner than later, it will catch up, and I think it's around that 45 to 50 mark that you're like, oh my God, you're aging so quickly.
So what is it? You talk to people about this, right? And why do we feel we need to hide wrinkles?
Well, I think it really affects me personally. After seeing thousands and thousands of patients, I feel like it affects people that are truly pretty or beautiful the most when they're young, okay? Because if you're in high school and you're super beautiful, or in your college in your 20s and you're super beautiful, then once you get to a certain age and no one's looking at you anymore or turning their heads to look at you anymore, you feel like, oh my God, something's wrong. I need to fix that before it gets even worse. And then you end up doing all these things to compensate for your failing beauty, but in the end it may backfire and bite you in the butt. I mean, look at some celebrities that have everything dissolved because, for example, Courtney Cox. She actually said on a Yahoo interview that what happened was she started going to so many different doctors, because one friend would recommend one doctor, one friend would recommend another doctor, and before long her face started looking disproportionate because too many eyes were looking at her. Whereas if you find somebody that's good and that makes you look natural, you should actually stay with them because they'll keep you looking natural. Basically.
You don't want to mix in a bunch
So
of
what
different
happens if nobody ever looked at you? When I grew up, nobody wanted to look at me. So I'm the opposite. I never had to worry about that.
Then you probably
what do I need?
You probably don't want to do anything or don't feel like a need, like you have to do anything.
So what you're saying is I should stay in the shadows as I did when I was a youngster and nobody wanted to look at me? I never had beauty, so what do I do now?
Oh, you didn't care so much about it, basically. Do you? I mean, how much do you care about how you look?
He's saying I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, we all care. I care.
We all want to look better.
But I see your point because you have people that had beauty and then they didn't want to lose it, and then you have me. I never had any beauty. I had nothing. So
Come on, Chris. That's not true.
I needed a new face, is what I needed.
Stop. That's not true. That's not true.
But I could see that as you're seeing celebrities. I'm at the age now where I'm able to see celebrities now age.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I'm seeing the transformation. And for some, they're aging gracefully. For others, they're not.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I realized, wow, I mean, gravity can really do a lot of damage to people.
Yeah, very true. I mean, and I think we place such a high standard on celebrities that as they age, we don't want to let them age, because if they don't do anything, then people say, oh, they have all the money in the world, why aren't they doing anything for themselves? But yet, if they do too much, then they're like, what the hell? They have all the money in the world and they can't find somebody good? Are you kidding me? So it's a fine line between doing just enough to make you look fabulous, just like J-Lo. I mean, she's obviously going to somebody, and somebody really good that's making her look very natural.
Don't you ever see her when she has no makeup on, and she?
I know makeup does a lot of
advertise
things,
herself.
for sure.
But because when she removed her makeup, you can really see her.
Have you seen her remove her makeup?
I saw it on commercials sometimes when she
Yeah.
removed
I mean,
everything
how old is
completely.
she? She's low.
She's 6 years younger
yeah,
than me.
which is
6 years younger than her.
which is 6 years younger than Timothy.
No, absolutely. And there's like also the industry that they're in. We don't see all the actors and actresses who aren't cast because they are getting older, and for whatever reason, the industry has these standards that it will sacrifice art and like a beautiful performance so it could have a name that's established, and like throw up this name that they know is going to get people into the box office again, and slap some whatever Botox or other procedures on them so that you can have that, so that they do look like they did when we first found them in stardom, and that nostalgia is going to drive people to the box office.
On the other hand, I also find that like the acting world has changed quite a bit.
Sure,
Because
absolutely.
you look at any commercial on television nowadays, they're all normal, regular
Exactly.
people compared to
Before,
in the
yeah.
90s
Or the
when
80s,
everybody was gorgeous.
70s.
You had to be
Sure.
gorgeous to
Yeah.
be on a commercial.
That's why I never got any commercials.
Stop! You're asking for a compliment here.
Am I?
Yes, you're very handsome. You're
No,
seriously-
Fishing.
no. I do think that some people change as they get older. I think some people regress in the way they look, and some people actually get better
Yeah.
looking, if you want to call it that, as they get older.
I think it's the inner soul that create a good look.
So I've seen people change for good or for not good, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting. But you're right. I think commercials in the 80s and 90s, it was very glammy, and now they're casting more people that look like the everyday person. And in the castings now, they actually want selfies more than they want your traditional industry headshot.
Yeah.
More and more now, casting directors don't want to see a professional headshot. They want to see
So
more
funny.
of a selfie.
I think that's the move to like self-tapes and then like virtual auditions in general. Well, I don't disagree with the like overall point, which absolutely, like we've moved away from this where like even the ugly friend on the show was actually like gorgeous or whatever, that like trope. But yeah, did absolutely.
I mean, my headshot that I use for my acting is actually just with an iPhone, that I took on my tripod, and it's very real. I mean, I have other headshots that were taken by professional photographers, and I don't like this.
Sure.
It's a little too made up,
That's
too
true.
much makeup, too much something, and it doesn't represent me, I feel like. Whereas when my agent really like the natural headshot that was just taken with my iPhone, because I get a lot of auditions for that because it looks very real, I guess.
You know what? You're right, because I just took a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, see that one on the
Outdoor?
left?
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, the one on the left, that was taken with an
that's a great
iPhone.
picture.
Yeah, that's nice.
Whereas the one in the doctor's suit was taken with, a professional picture.
And it does look a little like touched.
Yeah.
I like the monk one, the one that,
That's the picture I saw. That's what I was saying.
yeah, I like the monk one.
But the
And-
doctor one, you look like you could be on General Hospital with that one.
Sure.
Has anybody ever told you that you could pass for a doctor? Like I believe that. You as a doctor, I totally believe that. Yeah.
Not only am I a real doctor, but I look like a real
You
doctor.
do. And that's a good thing. Because, you don't want to walk into a professional office to see a professional and they don't look the part. And that's happened to me once before.
Oh.
I was in an office, and I needed a checkup, and the person was like the physician assistant, which is big now. So they don't always, you're not always seen by the doctor. It's the physician's assistant, kind of like it's kind of like Gilligan with Skipper, So I got to see Gilligan, and but he looked like a janitor. He didn't walk in and look the part. At first, I thought he was going to empty the trash bag, and then he told me to bend over. So I'm like, what the heck? Yeah.
But you know what? Like you say about headshot, I took some outside, and my manager picked the worst looking one as a headshot. And last week, I think I submitted and I got an audition. Yeah.
Well, I mean, their job is to know what is to look good for you, and sometimes we disagree, but they're the ones that are helping to build our careers. And I think they'll look at it differently because we're looking at it partially, and being subjective to it. They're going to be objective, because I've had similar over my career where it's like somebody likes a headshot that I had and I didn't really like it, but they said you're going to get work with that one. And I'm still waiting for that work to come. It never happened,
No, but to your point, in an industry where like real looks are more valued, I think at least when I'm picking out a headshot, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pick the one where I look the hottest, and like that's not necessarily the one that's gonna get the role, it's like the one
I'm just gonna look great. And I can post it on social media But again, it's all about getting the job.
Absolutely.
It's like, we're also self-critical of like how we look individually. Like forever, I was always concerned about my smile because it went one way, instead of the other way. It's a little bit asymmetrical on a smile.
Really? I never noticed it. I like
even
smile.
as
never
you're saying
trust somebody with
really
a crooked smile.
That's a good one.
It's like what's his name? Milo This is us.
He has a crooked smile?
He's got a crooked smile when he smiles. And but it's his trademark, and he looks really, really good with it.
Look at Sylvester Stallone. I mean, he has that lip that kind of drops, and apparently that happened at birth. When he was being delivered, they were using forceps and apparently damaged the muscles in the face. At least that's what I had read, and it created some paralysis of the muscles in his mouth, which caused his lip to droop. And growing up in the 70s and 80s, I mean, when Stallone was really just exploding, I mean, that look kind of made him a little real. Yeah. He wasn't, a fashion plate look, So, and I think we've seen a lot of entertainers that really have some uniqueness, meaning that you can't just create it.
Yeah, it's our imperfections that make us look individual.
Forrest Whitaker in his eye.
Yeah, I mean, how would you duplicate that? You couldn't if you tried. I mean, if somebody came to you and said, I want Forrest Whitaker's eye, what would you? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, there you go. I don't think you'd be able to recreate it.
I actually could, because that's a side effect of Botox. Because you can create a lazy eyelid.
So now we're going to have some Forrest Whitakers out there.
Not to create a tangent, but
that's really unusual.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously a patient would never want that, because they're going to walk around with one eye a little bit lid laggy, but it's possible to recreate with a little Botox.
Has there been any requests that you've had that you're like, okay,
so.
interesting?
I'll have the Forrest Whitaker, please.
Yeah.
Well, what about baby Botox? Can someone like me could use some baby Botox?
Yeah, so baby Botox is basically the same thing. I would inject exactly the same way as regular Botox, but I would dilute it down to about a quarter of the strength. For example, instead of let's say 40 units, I would only use 10 units for the whole face. So it would soften.
It would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it would soften everything
I like that. Yeah,
that you have, but you still have movement, but it's just softer.
Okay, so where would you do it for somebody like me?
Well, it just depends. I mean, you can do definitely the frown lines. The one that you have. Some people have 11s. You have more of a one right in there.
You're number one, Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
But you don't need Botox.
I'm just asking.
A little bit in the crow's feet, a little bit in the forehead is where people normally do the Botox.
I see. Just wondering.
I don't think you need it though. I think everything is perfect.
You don't take a paintbrush to the Mona Lisa.
Let's talk about something that's everybody in Hollywood's doing right now.
What's that?
What?
The weight loss.
Oh,
Ozempic Mounjaro.
So hard. That is so difficult.
Have you heard about it?
No, what is this?
Okay, so it's a diabetes medication that helps you to lose weight because it acts as similar to...
Yeah, hold on to these bikers.
Can you hear a noise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that Hell's Angels that we just heard roll by in Beverly Hills?
Yes, we do. Yes, we may. But
That's
we are
George
in the
now.
middle of podcast, so
He's in the background working on some technical, very technical stuff. Technical stuff. We don't stuff that I wouldn't even know about. But so no, what you were saying was
So it's a diabetes medication that is used basically for weight loss because it's a shot once a week and you just don't feel hungry for a whole week.
Oh, wow.
And so
it's expensive, right?
Yes, it's about $1,000 a month.
Oh, Jesus.
can I get
And-
that at CVS?
Yes, you could. But what it
That's
does
not funny.
is that it mimics a hormone that your body creates after you've eaten a big meal. So that tells your brain you're full all the time, and it actually slows down your gut so you can't eat more, put more in. And so you end up eating about 30 to 50% of what you normally eat. So patients lose anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds a week. So patients can lose like 10 pounds a month. I mean,
That's too much.
it is a
That's
lot.
That is way too much.
But I actually lost 20 pounds in 2 months.
Oh.
But
You
what
did.
about those side effects though? So I get
does.
concerned because I watch this stuff and you may grow a second ear or a third ear. Well, you do have 2 ears. What am I saying? Second ear. You may get a third nose. Can that be possible?
Yep. Skip right past the second one.
Skip past the second nose and you get a third nose.
Mm.
But seriously, like, what are the side effects?
So
Like,
the
other
main,
than
the
weight
main
loss?
side effect is nausea and vomiting. So if you do too big of a dose, you're just
no.
Well,
have-
that's
are
good because you'll
nauseous and
vomit the
vomiting.
food out.
Yeah. A second side effect is actually you get a little sleepy because think about it. If you feel like you've eaten a big meal, you tend to get a little sleepy. So actually, it makes you sleep well. I also felt like I was cold all the time. So I wore more clothing. When I went to bed, I was in like a couple layers of sweats. So I just felt cold all the time and especially I did it during the winter time. So I was pre-diabetic. My doctor, I was right on the edge of diabetes, and my nurse practitioner.
It looks like you've kept it
recommended
off. If you're
I've
not
kept it
using
off,
it, you look
yeah.
thin.
He kept it off.
I've kept it off.
Yeah, you look good.
But I think it's one of the hardest things at a certain age to lose because you can do everything right. You can work out, you can try to eat less, but we're Vietnamese, so we love food too much.
Too much.
A little
that's
bit too
right.
much.
Way too
And you
much.
can't really control it. And the neat thing about the medicine was you can walk past the refrigerator and not open it. You don't have these obsessive thoughts about food of when you're eating, you're already planning your next meal and where you want to eat and when you want to eat. And so and I also found that I didn't have obsessive thoughts about things that I obsessed about, like slot machines. I really like slot machines, and in the back of my head, I'm always thinking about when's my next trip to Vegas that I'm going to plan. So I usually go once a year. And I noticed during those 2 months, I wasn't thinking about Vegas at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, so people actually drink less on it because they have less obsessive thoughts about alcohol. If they drink, they'll drink 1 or 2 drinks and they just feel like that's it.
What
You realize
about-
Las Vegas is going to ban you now for saying that. You're in trouble now.
What about if you lose 10 pounds in 2.5 months? I mean, 10
Yeah.
pounds a month is a lot.
It is.
Maybe
So,
2.5 months, yes. It's
It just-
healthier that way.
Yeah, it all depends upon you and how much you eat, and depends on how much you are focused on it. So I still exercised when I took it, and I just really, like I said, I just didn't want to eat. I lost a lot the first month, and I lost less the second month. So I lost like 12 pounds the first month, and I lost like 8 pounds the second month.
I think I would like to have lost 4 pounds the first month, 3 pounds the second,
Yeah,
4
all
pounds the
planned out.
second month, and 2 pounds on the other the month. That would take me. I would like to stretch it out to like 2.5 equal 10
But
pounds.
obesity is huge in America right now, and obesity causes so much morbidity or other diseases that last year this drug Mounjaro, it sold over $1 billion,
Whoa, definitely.
and
That's a lot.
It's projected
That
to
is-
sell like 30 billion by, I don't know, in 10 years. It's just kind of crazy.
Who's the pharmaceutical company?
Eli Lilly,
And how long has it been on the market?
about 1.5 years.
And did you find that the eating habits stayed after you stopped the treatment?
So obviously, after you stop the treatment, hopefully you built up some good habits during those times. And so I did. I built up good habits in the sense that I trained my brain to know what a normal sized meal looks like.
Sure.
You know, and to stop eating when I felt full or satiated. So I've noticed that now when I go to a restaurant, I'll eat half of my meal and just say, oh, okay, I stop.
Okay, yeah,
because during the time that you're on the medication, you actually feel really bad if you eat too much.
Okay.
You feel nauseous and you feel like, oh my God, that's a horrible feeling. So it kind of trains you to think that eating too much is not a good thing.
Okay, yeah, retrains your brain.
Yeah.
It's funny that it's called Manjaro, though. I feel like it
Yeah,
sounds
like Kilimanjaro.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes more sense. But to me, it's like manger in French is
manger?
eat. And
Yeah.
mangiare in Italian, I think, is like eat, too.
I thought manja.
And then if you eat
Manja,
too
yeah.
much, you can get Montezuma's revenge.
What's that?
Ooh, you don't want to know.
There's
There's another reference I don't get, like Gilligan's Island.
The other
but
drug
yeah.
is called Ozempic, and so there's two drugs that are competing for
Okay.
that, but they work similarly. The Ozempic doesn't work quite as well, but I did a commercial for Ozempic last year.
Oh,
You're allowed to say that now?
I see.
So if I want to lose 10 pounds in 2.5 months,
You can
what
do
should
it.
I do? How do I do it?
You can do it.
You
can
charge
do it.
me less?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if I could pay $1,000 to not eat.
10
Like, I
pounds,
could
yeah.
not eat for free. That's the...
Well, you have self-control. That's amazing. You know, so some people don't have self-control.
hear that, I hear
So you talk about
That's
people
true.
that never feel full, so they have overactive hunger signals. They feel hungry all the time.
Yep.
You know, and so the medicine actually makes them feel full for the first time in their life.
Okay, wow, yeah.
So how do you do that if somebody like me, 10 pounds in 2.5 months?
Well, it's hard to do because once you're on it, you may lose it so quickly that you're like, oh, you know, you're done in a month. It's hard to regulate and say, you know, you want to only lose 10 pounds in a month.
That's a
But some
lot,
people
yeah.
may do it very quickly. Some people may do it slowly. And I've had patients that only lose 5 pounds a month, you know, 4 or 5 pounds a month. And I have patients that lose 10 plus pounds a month. But the bigger you are, the more you're going to lose in general.
See. Oh, okay. If you're
Makes
big.
You know, if you're 300 pounds, you're going to lose 10, 15 pounds a month.
How about Kareem? What's he going to lose? Probably bones.
I need the opposite. And I need something that makes me eat more. Or put some meat in my
Marijuana.
bones. Yeah, okay. You know what? I've been self-dosing.
There you go. Some brownies.
There we go. Yeah, and then that's 2 birds, 1 stone. You
That's
gotta
right.
eat and feed the hunger.
But you
right.
talk about all these celebrities that show up like 20 pounds lighter. It's true. There was a joke on it at the Oscars.
Oh, okay.
If you notice, they
Who?
talked about Ozempic. There was a joke that everybody showed up 20 pounds lighter because everybody's on Ozempic.
But everybody knows TV puts weight on you.
I,
Or was that like something somebody created because they didn't like the way they looked? Was it true? Do you think it's true that...
so I prescribe it too at my clinic. So I have a number of patients on the medication.
On Ozempic? But do you think...
And Manjaro.
Oh,
I like
on
Manjaro
sorry,
better
yeah,
because
absolutely.
you
You
lose
should
more
know
weight
that.
on Manjaro than Ozempic according to the studies.
Right. I think the question was, as a plastic surgeon, do you find that the camera adds 10 pounds?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I always look fatter when I'm on camera, for sure.
What is, like, is it... between your psychology degree and your doctorate in the physical empiricists, like, do we know why that is? Is it like a...
I don't know. Well, because of our three-dimensional eye, we see things in 3D, and so it
flattens it.
Yeah, on a TV, it just flattens everything,
Sure,
so it
that makes
looks
sense.
wider.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll accept that.
So if it flattens everything, do you think maybe that's why some... why are you laughing? Is that why maybe some actresses get breast enhancements? Because maybe they don't feel their
Figured you would
breasts
say
look
something like
plump
that.
enough, and they're looking flat, and they want to, look
The
a certain way.
camera adds 10 pounds and takes away a cup.
So yeah,
Really?
No, I don't know.
it can make
We're
their
saying it
face look
flattens you.
bigger, but their chest may look flat, right?
Is that true?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think
you're
you're thinking of
you're the
flattening
expert.
pun.
I don't. I've never noticed that.
By the way, Kareem is a comedian.
Yeah.
He's gonna make us
nice.
laugh.
Oh no! I mean, you've already.
I like laughing.
You've already shown yourself to be the chief jester on this show.
Oh.
I bow down to thee.
So what? Because laughing is good for you.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Yes, 100%.
I
Doctor
love
says yes.
laughing. It makes me feel so
You know.
good. I don't like being laughed at, which everybody does. but
That's the reason why I'm with my partner, because he laughs every day. He makes
Mm-hmm.
me laugh every single day, and he's hilarious. And you know,
what's so funny about him? How does he make you laugh?
Oh my God, he says the craziest things. You know, I'm like, he has no filter. So he thinks something and he says it. You know.
No, he has a lot of filter in public. Okay?
I was gonna say that's a good partner for a plastic surgeon because he could just call out everything he sees that's wrong with people, and then you'd be like, I'm so sorry about him. He has no filter, but also I can fix that for you if you want.
That's a good one.
Like the other day, I asked him, so what happens when someone pisses you off? He's like, well, if someone pisses me off, Shakita's gonna come out.
Shakita.
So I videotaped him, and so I put on Facebook. I live with two people, Scott and Shakita, and I love both of them.
This is Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Speaking of Shakita, we also have another sponsor. Now, where Shakita and the sponsor coincide, I do not know. But
I was wondering how this transition was
it
going to work
sounded
out.
like a good time, but we do have another sponsor. We're also sponsored by Sharby Token. To learn more about this exciting cryptocurrency, head over to coinmarketcap.com/currencies/Sharby. Just wanted to remind everybody
Sharby.
about that. We're not financial advisors. We're not here to give advice. We're just here to tell you
God
that
forbid.
to go to coinmarketcap.com/currencies/Sharby and learn more.
Sharby token. It exists.
It does. It is. We're an electronic world.
Okay, so now it's my turn. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Filter 90211. Today's show is sponsored by Spiritual Yoga Meditation Healer. You can check them out at spiritualyogameditationhealer.com/contact.
So, we're talking about weight loss, talking about how we look, how we age, talking about Botox. So those are physical, right? What do we do for the non-physical? What do we do more for our feelings, our emotions, our spirituality? Now, how we look on the outside does give us a feeling on the inside, but that's different. That's an external influence creating an internal feeling, right? So if I get poked in the forehead with some Botox and it starts to get rid of my wrinkles and my outside looks good, I start to feel good on the inside. But what do we really do from the inside out? Because we're talking about chemicals, we're talking about things that influence the outside. But now we want to start from the inside out.
I guess we have to meditate, center ourselves, come back and reflect it on ourselves.
Meditation. The Botox for the soul.
Good one.
It really is. And
I know, that's
and
what
it
I
doesn't
said.
cost anything, so it's cheaper. But I think it comes from within us, so it could be whatever we want. I could create my own Botox from the inside out, if you will. A little metaphoric, but
Of course,
I mean,
of
I
course.
can. And I think that's something that we need to learn more about as individuals and how we create that.
Okay. Well, today we are joined by two incredible guests. First, we have the talent Dr. Phil Nguyen, a successful actor who's won awards at both the 2022 Focus International Film Festival and Silver State Film Festival, and for his supporting role in Iris.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Kareem Leferro, who's an actor, a writer, a comedian. Tell us a little bit about your comedy and how it started and evolved.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I've always loved stand-up. As a kid, I remember watching Eddie Murphy's Raw on YouTube with my little brother and just cackling. And then as I got older, I did a lot of improv comedy. Before moving out to LA, I did software development for an insurance company, and it's exactly as stimulating as you might think. So to kind of save my soul, I I did a lot of improv and stand up. So it's I love humor that like looks at the mundane and like turns it, or it shines a light on it to acknowledge how fantastical like our mundane life is. So, which is, I guess, a very heady way to just like say observational comedy. But
So comedy saved you from software.
it did. Well, I don't know if it saved me. We'll see. But right now, I'm holding on to the comedy life raft, and we'll see if it gets me to shore. Yeah, it's something. I mean, like you said, laughter is
the best.
such a pure emotion out of all of them. But yeah, it's just something that I want to live in and want to like impart on others or share with others.
And laughter is the best medicine.
So, as an actor, do you enjoy comedic parts as opposed to more serious parts?
I do. I mean, I actually, I enjoy doing the performance of the dramatic ones more, but I love the result of the comedic ones more. So, like, the process of getting into character for a dramatic role is sometimes more interesting to me. But overall, it can be heavy sometimes to, get into those roles and get into those headspaces. So you're naturally going to feel lighter in the comedic roles. And then I just love comedy, and it tends to be, like, a funner set sometimes. You're cracking jokes out, between takes. There's more room for improv, which I love. So, yeah, I mean, I like both, but I do find pleasure in comedic roles. What?
Well, we'll be discussing life lesson, personal growth, and the journey to success with Dr. Nguyen, as well as diving into Kareem's experiences as an actor and comedian in the world of Hollywood and Beverly Hills. So about your personal growth, when you decided to become an actor.
Well, that was a very interesting story how I decided to become an actor. That was
Yes,
about
I want to hear about it.
4 years ago, and I had a patient sitting in my chair. With HIPAA, I'm not supposed to say any names or anything, but
We won't tell anybody. Nobody's watching this.
Right.
this
You keep it
is a
secret.
very big casting director in Hollywood,
Oh, wow.
actually. But he works in Hollywood. And
So we know it's a he. That narrows it down.
and he works in Denver as well. So
Narrows it down further.
narrows it down further. But he turns to me and says, "Dr. Nguyen, have you ever thought about acting?" And I'm like, not since high school, when I was in plays, but it's like, you should really think about it. I've been seeing more and more castings for older Asian men, and there aren't enough actors to meet those roles. And you've got a nice look, you really should think about it, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, what do I do? So, well, you need to get some headshots, and then you need to start taking acting lessons, and that's what I did, and that started my journey down. And to be honest, I was very, very bad.
But that's how it is in this business. You have to be very bad in order to be very good.
Well,
I was-
I'm going to be great
I was very, very bad the first couple years, and
because I
then
can be bad.
my partner at one time said to me, "Honey, you're bad." And I was so pissed at him for 2 weeks. I made him sleep in the other room, and I didn't speak to him. And he's like, "Phil, I can't have you embarrassing me and yourself out there thinking you're good."
Once again, no filter.
Exactly. And I was like, "I'll show you how bad I am." So I worked really, really hard, and
Good.
somewhere
you're
along the way,
bad.
something
So-
clicked. It took 2 years for something to click inside me, and I was like, "Oh, that's what acting is." And then I started getting cast after that.
And this
when
was
I gave up.
This was a producer that was a client of yours?
Yes,
patient?
it was a
Casting.
casting director.
Casting director. So, like,
Yeah.
now I got to ask the question: has this casting director ever cast you?
Yes,
In what movie?
Way to follow through. No, yeah.
In what
yes,
movie?
he's cast
In what
me. He's
gig?
cast me in a commercial.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now
That's
so does he
wonderful.
get discounts now when he comes in?
Well, it's not up to him to pick me. It's up to
That's true.
The
The
deeper the
producers and-
discount,
Yeah.
the more the parts.
It all goes through the executive producers and what they want, but it's nice to have him in my back pocket to give me advice on
absolutely.
certain things, And at the beginning, what he said just didn't register because I didn't understand what acting was. I thought acting was, I don't know, something else. And then once I figured it out, everything that he said before just made sense. He's like, "Phil, just be yourself. Just be yourself, You have this amazing personality. Just be yourself. You don't have to try. And I was like, oh. And so once I figured out what acting was, like, oh, he's right. I don't have to try anything. Because there's this theory behind, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like all these acting classes in Hollywood are geared towards making you take more classes because they don't tell you what acting is. You have to figure it out. I feel like it's not a scam, but they're there to make money, right? It's a business.
Sure.
It's a business. And they don't tell you what acting is. And you've got to figure it out yourself. And until you figure it out yourself, then that's when you kind of stop taking classes, or you kind of like don't take as much anymore because like, oh, that's what acting is. And once I figured that out, I started getting cast.
And that watershed moment, I mean, I think you kind of hinted at it, but like, what would you say it was? Like, was it like just like coming to like authenticity and then to yourself and bringing yourself to the parts, or was it just like being more natural? Or
Yeah, so it was a progressive journey for me because I was just getting all these auditions. I never got a call back, okay? And then I gave up. I was like, I'm just gonna send in my first take. So my next auditions, I just started sending in my first 1 or 2 takes. And I didn't work at it, I just did it. And then I started getting callbacks on my first take. And I was like, what does this mean? Because I was fed up with doing 100 takes and picking something and spending hours or days on an audition.
Sure.
And then I just started sending in my first take. And I was like, what does this mean? Oh, okay, so it means that I am at my most authentic during my first take. Whether I make mistakes or not, whether I mess up the lines or not, whether this or that, whatever, it didn't matter. They liked me when I was being my most authentic and I was thinking less and being more,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
you know.
So you're saying, so I send in 100 takes.
Casting
And
director's nightmare.
So what you're saying is they're probably not going to watch all 100? And then I notice I get blocked by them. So now I think I've figured something out by what you just said. Because I like
Very funny.
I want to get it right. So I do all these takes, and I'm thinking, well, 100 isn't too much. I mean, don't they want to cast it right? You wonder.
And I felt like that was my aha moment, was when I started getting cast because of just one of my first takes. I was like, oh, so that's what acting means. I am just being myself, and there just happens to be a camera on me, and I'm saying the lines how I would say it as opposed to how I think the director would want me to say it.
What's interesting is one of the first things I ever learned really in the profession is, when you first get your script, your lines, and in the industry, we call them sides, right? So if anybody's out there is not in the industry, well, what sides? Sides are the lines you're going to read in the audition. And one of the first things I learned was when you first read it, you just want to read it as yourself. You're not going to formulate how your character is going to play it, whether it's a commercial or film and TV or a play even. Just read it. Just get to know the words so you can understand it. And once you understand it, it'll naturally kind of come out more authentic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that what you did? You just started to kind of read it as you would read it, not a character?
Well, I think also what I want to answer that question with an example. I think all of my acting lessons that I was taught through all my teachers that I've been through, I can boil it down to they were trying to teach me techniques to distract myself from the fact that I'm knowing I'm acting.
Sure.
Okay? And so I learned all these different techniques to distract myself. Whereas all I had to realize was I'm just being myself, and there happens to be a camera on me, and I just need to ignore the camera. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Great belief.
in life, I think sometimes as individuals, sometimes we have a hard time communicating, right? I think a lot of people in the world have a hard time with being able to be who they are. Because I think when I look at myself throughout my life, you feel like there's a camera on you in certain situations. And it could be at any point in your life. It could be in school with a teacher, classmates. It could be at a job interview. It could be wherever. And you feel like the spotlight's on you, and maybe you're not going to be as authentic or honest as you would like to be.
Let me ask you this question. Why do you think a lot of the YouTubers and Instagrammers are famous or they have such big followings? It's because I believe that a lot of them are very, very authentic. They're just themselves, and there's some unique quality about them that attracts people. And I remember when I first started following people on YouTube, I was like, why does this person have hundreds of thousands of followers? This is crazy. But the more I watched it, I was like, oh, they're kind of crazy. You know, because they're unique. Not everybody has that ability to just ignore or not self edit, right?
Come unfiltered like your
Yes,
partner.
unfiltered. And I keep telling my partner that he would be the most amazing YouTuber ever because he has no filter, but he has no wish to be on TV or be filmed or whatever.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Scott is something.
You've only met him a few times.
Of course, a few times, like at your wedding, at
Yeah.
parties, and here and there.
Now, to both of your points, I think there's also something about being comfortable with who you are, and then that comfort transferring to the stage or transferring to, you know, in front of the camera. Because if you are nervous and like anxious at a job interview or in like, you know, interpersonal relations, it's going to be hard to be anything but that on stage or in front of the camera and as an audience, unless
And that's the other thing. You can never remember a line if you're nervous. All
yeah.
those lines go out the window if you're nervous.
Absolutely.
And that's what I realized
true.
too. When I mean, if you're an actor and you have problems remembering your lines, it's because you're nervous. You know, you gotta get over that nervousness because you cannot remember a freaking line if you're nervous. Any line.
Yep,
Sure, if you're
yep.
thinking
Anyway,
about the line.
And
yeah.
maybe that you can, try to calm yourself down and center yourself.
How can
by
we do that?
Discover a new path to inner peace with Shirley's spiritual yoga meditation healer, chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and more. Call 424-542-9070 now for a free consultation and start your transformation today. All forms of payment accepted. Unlock your true potential with Shirley's spiritual yoga meditation healer. Experience chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and personalized meditation sessions to help you release blocks and manifest your dreams.
Wow. Can we also acknowledge what a great transition that was? That was
Yeah,
masterclass.
for sure.
Yep, and with over 28 years of experience, Shirley has transformed lives worldwide. Don't miss this opportunity for a better, more balanced life.
Balance. So
Balance, yep.
So Kareem just mentioned something about, you got to accept yourself. And we were talking a lot about external stimuli early on, about how we can maybe accept ourselves. We look in the mirror, we don't like what we see. We use external forces to change that so we can kind of feel better on the inside. So how do we, from the inside out, accept ourselves? And if we can only do it from the inside out, if we couldn't use anything external, can't use Botox, can't
Marijuana.
use makeup, can't use marijuana, can't eat brownies, can't, because, food is a form of feeling better in a way.
It can be, certainly.
A lot of external stuff coming inside, but how do we do that? What if we could only do it from the inside out? How do we do it? Now there's meditation, we have our spirituality, but as Kareem said, you're going to be more comfortable if you accept yourself. So what are things that we do to continually feed ourselves from the inside out and feel better about ourselves and accept ourselves? Because if we do that, no matter what, we're going to be much better for that. But how do we do that?
I mean, there's like a philosophical angle to like the attack, right? There's like what mentality am I going through my day with? And it's easy to fall back into meditation or guided meditation sometimes of like whether it's through like a spiritual sense of fulfillment or purpose or whatever it is, where if it's just acknowledging, the incredible probability of you being alive and then being thankful for that and your part in the universe, and also being accepting of like, your shortcomings and the consequences or the situations that made you, and you being both an effect and a result of like everything that came before you, and not flagellating yourself for your shortcomings and stuff like that. And there's also like our activities, like there are our self-care activities, whatever that is to us, and it can be, you said nothing external, but I don't know if like a walk in the park or something like that would be considered external, and seeing the sun and exercising and stuff like that. But that'd be my first stab at a deep question.
For me, it's about choosing not to focus on the negatives of life.
Positive
Because
thinking.
there's so many, every day there's things that you can focus on that are downers and they're negative, and it's when you choose to be happy. I know it's easier said than done, but when you choose to be happy, then everything changes, and you attract more happiness into your life.
Even choosing to want to be happy, I feel like is such a big step of like, you know, both making the choice and then, you know, following up on that choice and doing whatever it will take to do that. But yeah, even if it's like, you know, forcing yourself to smile like a crazy person in the mirror for a minute or whatever, and just feel the serotonin that, like, you know, that releases. Yeah, it's very much about making that
that's
choice.
why comedy is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at TikTok. Why do we watch TikToks and Instagrams? It's because it makes us laugh.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's just those little dopamine rushes that we get. How do you do it?
Well, like you said, you know, you got to make yourself laugh. I love laughing. Ironically enough, I look in the mirror and I laugh a lot, so then I feel better. No, I you know, first of all, I have my faith, and for those of you today, it's Easter Sunday that celebrate Easter. So happy Easter to everybody.
Happy
if you're
Easter.
celebrating that.
Happy Easter.
And I celebrated Easter today. Went to service, and so I use my spirituality, my faith, which is my anchor, and also I think we evolve and learn as we grow and. In our lives, we learn what works, what doesn't work. I do a lot of different things. There's times where I will kind of, in a way, meditate. Now, it's not necessarily getting on a floor and in my bare feet and meditating, but I can meditate. I'm learning more and more how to meditate no matter where I'm at and what I'm doing. And I could be meditating right now, actually, and you would never know it, but I could be. So I do that a lot. Now, the great thing about Southern California is there's so much traffic that I'm, you know, stuck bumper to bumper and I have nothing else better to do. And I actually do start to kind of do a meditation in my car. And, you know, and I'll just, for me, part of meditation or feeling better is I'll let my own mind do some things to kind of shuffle things around so I can kind of maintain balance. So whether it's a stressful day or a fun day, I kind of let my mind shuffle through things. And sometimes I'll allow it to just do its own thing. And it sounds crazy, but if you've ever let your mind just go, it could allow you to kind of decompress, if that makes sense. And that's what I do. So that's kind of deep, but yeah.
That's great.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, you ever meditated at a wedding?
Yeah.
Like at Shabi and Shiba Inu crypto wedding?
a crypto wedding.
Yeah. Did you guys see the vegetable cake contest at the wedding? It was positively adorable.
Was it? How adorable was it? Well,
I guess to set the scene here a little bit for our wonderful listeners and viewers. What Tiffany just quoted was a line out of Beverly Hills 90210, 90211, Beverly Hills 90211, a upcoming film that's coming out of this studio that, well, Phil, you're involved with that as well, right?
I guess.
It-
I just found out today.
Anyways, it's an exciting collaborative project with actors and writers coming from across Hollywood to create this script. We're leveraging some AI tools and just creating this project and also recording a podcast as we do it. About the making of the film. So if you want more context for that crypto wedding and what exactly is going on, and are they going to go to the moon, and all the fantastical twists and turns of Beverly Hills 90211, stay tuned to the channel. Is that are we coming up on our hour? I think
we're getting there. We're getting close to the top of the hour. So Tiffany, you said you've been to a wedding?
Yeah. Well, contest the wedding is positively adorable and vegetable cake.
Can she read first the 30 seconds and 15 seconds and you guys train with the acting? Her first voiceover acting gig.
Which one is that?
sure. So it sounds like we're gonna see some real life applications of what we talked about. How to be present and neutral and interacting.
The 15 seconds.
So one thing I do want to say is I want to make a little pitch. Right before the show, I needed some caffeine, and I went outside to get some fresh air, and I saw that there's a new cafe right across the street. So I walked over and got myself an awesome latte, and it was really good, and it was called the Black Canvas Coffee. It's on the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and Stanley Drive here in Beverly Hills. And Nazila, who is the owner, just opened a week ago. So I just wanted to give her a little pitch for giving me some phenomenal latte.
We love our local businesses.
And we support them. And yeah, and what's interesting, Tiffany, is what would somebody do if they wanted to advertise on our podcast? What would they do to promote
They ask
their
us to do
business?
it.
That's right, but how would they do that?
They can call George,
Yes.
the producer, and speak to them.
And
or they can speak to one of us. If
Tiffany
they know
said,
us.
"Have you never heard of a phone, Chris? Come on, what's going on here?"
so I'm giving Tiffany a little lead in, but so I'll tell you what.
No, you just start dialing numbers until you got George. You need commitment to succeed in business. So if you just pick up the phone, start dialing numbers, and when one says, "Hey, I'm George Anton," that's when you know you got it.
George Anton? Okay, we can do that. So you have to call George, who is our producer, and if you call him, you can. So, actually, I'll say it because
Go ahead.
I have it right here. So if you would like to promote your business on our show for only $100 per episode, okay, we'll read your ad during the podcast. We even offer discounts for multiple ads. So the more ads, the more discounts. Call now at 323-572-3033 to secure your spot. So call George, $100 per episode.
Okay, that might be a little bit more time efficient than calling numbers at random. Fine.
Okay.
What about the Fetch the Bouquet? I mean, you guys see the Fetch the Bouquet contest at the wedding?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? The way the dogs jumped and caught the bouquet was so entertaining. It was. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And don't forget the doggy treat buffet. It was a canine's dream come true. They had everything from bacon flavored bones to peanut butter filled Kongs.
The attention to detail was astounding. Even the decorations were dog themed. I love those bone-shaped balloons.
Can we clarify? This is the wedding between two cryptos.
Oh, cryptos can get married?
Yep.
Cryptos can
Shabi
get married.
and Shiba.
And if you want to learn how they consummate that marriage, you're going to have to tune in to Beverly Hills 90211. That's all you're going to get for right now. I think that was a nice little taste for them.
I hope they don't get divorced.
Well, I'm sure there's a prenup.
Think about the puppies. Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank
Are you leaving?
Thoughts?
Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're not going to do any comedy for us?
Oh, like at the tight five? I don't know.
If I put you on the spot like that, can you?
And what about we on the moon?
I-
I mean, what happened when, we go to the moon?
On the moon? Oh, more of Beverly Hills 90211?
Yeah, the moon, like.
So what we
said
thought we
land
would
on the
do is
moon.
we would, I think somehow we're going to end up on the
We
moon.
land on the moon and then, wow, I could say, wow, we're really, really on the moon. I guess the price of Shabi token really did skyrocket.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to be part of the crypto love story that's out of this world.
Wait, is that an astronaut over there? And is he
Maybe.
moonwalking?
Hey, let's ask him to officiate the second wedding. We can't let this cosmic opportunity go to waste.
This is going to be one small step for crypto, one giant leap for love.
We should live stream the ceremony. It'll be the first ever moon wedding to go viral.
Do you think the reception will have space-themed dog treats? I hear moon cheese is all the rage.
And when they exchange vows, we can say they're over the moon for each other. Literally.
Okay, so I can be the Shabi Shiba Inu. From the moment we met, I knew we were destined to be ultimate crypto couple.
And Sharby, as we embark on this cosmic journey together, I vow to be by your side through every bull run and bear market. Together, we'll create a love that's stronger than any blockchain.
That was beautiful. I never thought I would cry at crypto wedding.
Me neither. I guess it's true what they say. Love knows no bounds, not even between digital currencies.
This really puts a new spin on the phrase, I'll love you to the moon and back.
Yeah. I wonder if this means their love is now moon certified.
All right, everyone. It's time for some good old-fashioned moon fun. Let's play Moon Rocket Goose.
What? You're kidding, right? This is gonna be hilarious with the low gravity.
I've always wanted to play a game on the moon. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
This is harder than I thought. The low gravity makes it so challenging to catch each other.
But it's so much fun. I never felt so light on my paws before.
It's like we were truly dancing among the stars.
Isn't it amazing how love, friendship, and innovation brought us all the way to the moon?
Yeah, and we even got to play Moon Rocket Goose. I wonder if we can patent that game.
Forget about the game. I just want to know if we're the first podcast to ever broadcast from the moon.
I'm pretty sure we are. We should get a plaque or something to commemorate this historic event.
Uh-oh, I see an alien here. Greetings, Earthlings. We sensed your joy and celebration and decided to teleport here to join the fun.
Wow, we are truly making intergalactic friends today.
All right, everybody, it's time to head back to Beverly Hills 90211 Studios and continue our podcast. We knew a crypto canine wedding could be so out of this world.
Whoa.
Here we are back at the studio. Boy, that was like a mind trip or a moon trip. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, a little voyage into the mind of Robert Manuel, who jumped on board as the head writer for Beverly Hills 90211. And in collaboration with our amazing core directors, Joel Harkim and another director will be joining us soon. They'll be guiding the story and writing all the scenes for us, so we'll have more adventures from the moon and from Sheba and Sharby.
And we do hope Sheba and Sharby have a wonderful life together. We do. I know I do.
If not, there's always a prenup.
Yes, there is, and we're in the land of prenups here in Beverly Hills.
Maybe we can have a divorce lawyer for your next host. I feel like very trending, like the Hollywood top professions.
My husband was a family law attorney, but in New York, not in L.A.
I wonder what differences there are.
I know,
Between
probably
New York
not
and
so
LA.
much. Somewhat. Somewhat.
The houses are smaller that you split up in New York.
That's true, square footage wise.
Yeah.
Okay. What should I say about?
So for the remaining cast of Beverly Hills 90211, there's a big chance that the next time that when you show up, you'll actually receive the screenplay pages in advance.
That's right. As you know, our talented friend and actor Robert Manuel has jumped on board as the head writer for the Beverly Hills 90211 movie.
And in collaboration with our amazing core directors, Joel Harkim and another director will be joining us soon. They'll be guiding the story and writing the scenes for all of us.
So, for the remaining cast of Beverly Hills 90211, there's a big chance that next time when you show up, you'll actually receive the screenplay pages in advance.
That's right, so you can learn your lines, come on set with them memorized, and be ready to start when we kick off the principal photography of Beverly Hills 90211, the movie.
This is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to showcase our talents and make this movie the best it can be.
Yay.
Yay!
Fabulous.
That was fun, guys.
It was.
Absolutely.
It was. I'm so glad Chris is here today. Because, he's so much more intelligent. He keeps things lively.
Boy, I am a good actor.
One final plug. The name of my clinic is called Happy Clinic VIP.
Yay.
Ooh, Happy Clinic VIP.
And maybe someday I go there for baby Botox.
And where is it located?
It's in Orange County. It's a little far away.
Okay.
I live in Orange County, in the heart of Little Saigon.
Nice.
So I can have Vietnamese food 24/7, anytime, any day,
Now,
anywhere.
I was gonna say, now the need for that medicine makes sense. Okay.
Exactly. I can drive by restaurants and not want to stop by any of them.
And you didn't bring us any food
I
today?
know. I should have brought some banh mi's.
Oh,
Yeah, you should have.
I'm hungry. Is now the right time to thank you for having me on? I think I jumped the gun earlier.
Yes. Thank you so much for being
No,
here.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, we really appreciate, Kareem, your joining us today. And is there any upcoming events that you would like to share?
You can catch me at the clubhouse doing improv on every other Wednesday. Follow Warm Girlfriend on that's Warm as WORM Girlfriend Improv on Instagram. And thank you.
And how about you, Doctor?
Well, I recently had a chance. I recently joined SAG, so I had two shows that I'll be on soon. And in the next few months, and looking forward to it.
Well, congratulations
Yeah.
joining SAG-AFTRA, as
Yeah,
it is now.
congratulations.
Are you excited?
Yeah, very excited, very excited.
You've taken the plunge.
Yeah, had 2 back-to-back. And one of them was with a huge director, Taika Waititi.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember when I first joined SAG. It was actually it was 20 years ago this year. So
Wow,
I've been in SAG for 20 years. Proud to be in SAG. And when I had got into SAG, it wasn't SAG-AFTRA. SAG was one union. AFTRA was another
Yeah.
union. So you had to qualify for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was in AFTRA. I joined AFTRA. That was not hard, so I can do some kind of extra on a commercial. And when they merged, I didn't have to do anything. I was happy.
Awesome, yeah. I mean, there was that transition, and it made it a lot easier. And I remember when I had done it, it was they were separated, so you had to qualify. SAG was harder to qualify for. After, you just kind of had to write a check, which
Yeah,
was
and-
kind of easy. But if you don't have the money, it wasn't.
Yes, and then after that, you can join AEA.
That's right, Actors Equity. Yes,
yeah.
yes. I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Yeah. That was really a goal of mine. So I really worked hard to get into the union, and it was kind of, for me, more of a professional milestone that I wanted to get into that realm. And it wasn't that you get paid more, because there's more competition when you're in the union, right? So. But to me, it was becoming a professional in what you do. And not that you just got paid for it, but you were in a union, you had people representing you, and then you had the ability to represent the union. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we can, do our own clips like you wanted to.
Did you get your card yet?
Yes, I got my card.
You want to show your card with
Um,
pride?
It's on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Today's age.
You don't have a physical one yet?
I do have a physical, but I don't think I put it in my wallet. I know I should put it in my wallet, right?
I do carry my card with me. So
Do you?
Yeah, I
I
have
do.
my
Staples
card
it
with
to
me
his
too.
chest.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. You
I carry them
your
in my
card.
wallet. too.
Yeah. So,
Let me see.
let's see here. Where is it? Here it is.
No kidding. You carry it in your
I
card.
carry
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
No.
So
Card carrying
SAG-AFTRA.
No.
It's reminding me that it expires this month, so I need to make sure I renew it. And what's interesting is in SAG-AFTRA, technically every 6 months you
Show again.
re-register.
Show
George
your
is
card,
asking me to show my card, so
I want to show my
SAG-AFTRA.
card too. Hold on.
and it has my SAG number on it. It says member since 2003, and every 6 months you get a new card, and I collect all my cards. So I have a collage of all my SAG cards. I have a dresser in my bedroom with a mirror, and it's kind of a vintage dresser that has been repainted to make it look even more vintage. And around the frame of the mirror, I have all my SAG cards, 20 years, and you get 2 each year. And Tiffany has her SAG card there,
My SAG card, my AEA.
and her Actors Equity card. There you go. And at one point, like I said, SAG and AFTRA were separate, so you had 2 different cards. And if you had Actors Equity, you'd have 3 cards.
My goodness, so now once is enough. That's like yours, right? Let's.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Oh, this
It
is
expires.
Oh, it's expired the end of this month.
Yeah, the end of this month, and then we'll
Here's
get
my
another
card.
one.
Yeah, you
Nice.
pay already. I think I pay already.
Just as valid.
It's an AEA. That's color peach. Let's see yours.
Oh, that's my card.
Okay,
So
so I guess
excited.
the next one that we're gonna get by the end of this month is yellow, like this, yellow and white. But we got yellow and red.
That's the thing I like about getting my new card is I don't know what color it's going to be, and I like it because they're different graphics and colors. So every 6 months you get a new card, and it just has a different look to it. So when I look in my mirror, I see all the different cards for over 20 years. And,
Oh, really?
and some of them I liked more than others. Some of them were kind of dull looking, and some of them had bright blue and gold and stuff. And I like certain colors that it just looks neat. So
I like trading cards, but better.
kind of like trading cards. Actually, they're kind of like credit cards because they're plastic, but you can't
Yeah, but
buy anything with
when
them.
their collectability.
But we're in the world now of the apps. So SAG-AFTRA has an app, and then you can use your card electronically, right? And I don't know what to call you. Should I call you Doctor? Should I call you Phil? Should I call you Dr.
Dr.
Nguyen?
Phil.
What should I call
Dr.
you?
Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Mr. Doctor, sir.
We have Dr.
Um,
Phil here today. So when Dr. Phil got into the union, now it's all electronic. You don't really need to carry your card anymore. So that's kind of neat. I have to get up with the times.
And Chris, I want to be called Dr. Tiffany.
Dr. Tiffany,
Okay.
Dr. Tiffany, Dr. Phil.
Thanks, call me Phil.
I'm Chris. And that's Kareem.
Esquire.
Esquire.
Just Chris.
Just Chris. I'm just Chris. That's it. I'm just an average, everyday guy.
Thanks God.
Very average.
Oh, thanks God. But that make you brilliant and, talented and sensational.
Wow. I've just hired Tiffany to be my marketing consultant. You're my marketing consultant now, Tiffany. Thanks. You made
Okay.
me feel really good.
Thank you for giving me a new job.
Yes. Yes.
My commission is 50%.
That's it? Wow, that's a deal.
For everything you bring in, though.
Yep.
Yeah, because I ain't going to bring anything in. So I'll take 50% of what you could bring us. But you could be my new publicity agent now. Because you make me feel good. Now I feel good.
Half agent, half spiritual lifter.
Yes, yes. And so I really enjoyed being with everybody today. And Dr. Phil.
Thank you, Chris,
Phil.
for having me on board.
Thank you. for
Great to meet
coming.
you. Maybe I'll have to come visit.
Sure.
Botox, some filler.
Some baby Botox?
Where would I need filler at? Like, if you were going to fill me, where would you give me filling at?
Well, if you want to,
You don't need any.
I
Like,
can
I'm getting-
improve that scar a little bit too, just showing it.
got
in
that scar.
That scar.
What
that's
scar?
something that
But
you
people
don't
have
like.
told me that it gives me, like, this,
Yeah, what
this
scar?
gritty look.
What
Yeah.
scar? Where?
I have, like, a
That looks
scar
good.
Oh,
here,
okay. So
you know.
you mean you
But you
fell
can't
as
be
a
too
child
perfect.
and
No, it was probably acne when I was a kid, and you get scars.
But you look pretty darn good for 54.
yeah.
Well, thanks. I don't know what to say, but thank you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
'cause
noticed
when-
I'm getting these lines around
Yeah.
my jowls or whatever.
So
The joy
things that
lines.
make us look older typically are what I look like at when I look at a person. For example, they have a little bit of this jowling. That always tells me they're at least 45 if they have this
Like
little
here?
bit of a
Like around
jowling,
here? Like I
where their
have it?
jawline
Yeah.
is no longer straight, but you,
Like I
you
have
still
it
have
right
a
here?
very straight jaw.
Yeah, like I have it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
So she has a little bit of this jowling.
Yeah,
right
see?
there.
That's what
And-
I'm no longer
and
45.
When your jawline is no
46.
longer straight, you're automatically over 45.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you figured out I'm over 45 by looking at my jaw.
The only question I have is, when you finish your Botox, do you tell them you've been filled by Phil?
Phil
Good one.
will fill you
Sounds
up.
kind of sexual.
Well, honestly, I had the thought when Chris asked, like, "Hey, how would you fill me?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
So would
I didn't
you
know
fill
this
me
type of
any?
podcast.
So he said the scar, but I've had managers and agents tell me they like
Yeah.
the scar, they like the gritty look.
I don't think I would touch you.
No?
Because, so as a doctor, a filler, an aesthetic physician, my first thought when I look at a face is, what are the chances of me making you look better compared to making you look worse? If it's a 50-50 chance that I can make you look worse, I don't do it. If it's a 90% chance that I'm going to make you look better, I'm going to do it. Okay?
It's a Hippocratic
But,
oath.
but how can you make a person look worse?
You can, for sure.
I mean, I know
You can't.
bad,
Okay, so
bad
let's say
cosmetic
this.
surgery.
No, let's say this. If you've got a patient that is like a 9 out of 10 in looks, it's very hard to get them to a 9.5.
Mm.
Interesting.
Because they're already good looking.
because they're
right?
already beautiful. There's a bigger chance that you're gonna f them up and make them bring them down to an 8.
Interesting.
You know, so a lot of beautiful people, when they go through their midlife crisis and their looks are falling apart and they come to me, I'm like, sweetie, you look great. It's more of a pep talk.
How about my nose? My nose is kind of
You know, I
long.
love that.
Would you fix my nose?
No, absolutely
It's kind
not.
of pointy when you look from the side. I
No.
don't like it.
No, you have a beautiful
I want a
nose.
smaller nose. It's too long.
No, it looks good like that.
So you
Like
can
Well
masculine.
defined.
you can
can't have
actually do a
everything.
little bit of filler right
Oh.
straight into the columna, which is the column in between there,
Yeah.
and it actually makes your nose stick out just a little bit more. I call it a poor man's nose job.
But my
do
nose
it.
is already sticking out far.
Don't do it.
No, but it makes the tip
Change
kind of
the
go
angle.
up
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
All right. Maybe
Don't
we'll
do
have
it,
to talk.
Chris. Don't do it.
A little
We'll
off
have
the
to
top.
talk.
You look great the way you
You do
are,
look
so don't do it.
But like I said, it's for me, it's a dilemma in my head, and if there's a chance 50-50 chance I'm gonna make them look worse, I just don't do it. I just say, sweetie, you're fine.
Can you ever stop looking at faces with your critical eye?
No.
Yeah,
Impossible.
like I get that.
I look
I
at
understand that.
faces.
So what do you think
Interesting.
I should do if I have my jaw is sagging like this and people are gonna know that I'm way over 45? What should I do?
But only
next.
if they're professionals. Like he's a professional. I wouldn't know you were over 45.
But
Yeah,
the question
thank you.
becomes, don't you want to get the parts where
I know,
you're
I'm
over
just
45,
saying, I'm just
50?
saying.
Because as an actress,
I know, but
to
I'm
be
just
honest,
saying.
there's
you know,
not that many actresses, Vietnamese, your age.
I know.
There aren't.
My
There's maybe
God.
5. that she's competing against for the roles her age. And there's probably 5 to 10 Vietnamese speaking actors my age that I'm competing against for those roles when they come up. So I'm like, I don't.
And for me, I'm a middle-aged white guy. There's only like
2 million.
10,000
Few millions, I was going to say.
and man, now I'm thinking of
It's
the
okay.
odds.
There's a
I don't wanna
similar
think
amount
about
of
that.
roles.
I don't want to think about that. Well, it was great being with everybody today.
Yes,
So
thank you so much.
So
Thank
much.
you.
I enjoyed
I
it.
have so much fun. It's great Easter
Tiffany, as
celebrations.
always, love being with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And thank you two gentlemen.
Thank you for having me on board, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey Google, play us off.
Yeah, have a wonderful day. Now let's take some pictures.
That was fun.
Let's take some pictures together.
I could sing. Fly me to the
You're
moon.
gonna be like
Let me reach for the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, kiss me. Sorry I screwed up on that one page there. Tiffany, you read it for me, right?
Did I?
Yeah, you read it. You did the, I was supposed to be the narrator, the host. But you did the, where it said, I told you, I had it down. I think we have too many pages to read.
That's okay.
Oh, this one here. I was supposed to do the host, but you already did it.
The show is still
No, it's
on,
supposed
you
to
guys
be-
do it.
Because I had mine.
Oh, actually, this one? Oh,
Yeah. So,
yeah, I thought it's you put my name on it. That's why.
okay.
The show's still on. Do you want to do it?
Because you said it. You did it. You said it all.
Just the 30 seconds one, that would be great to have it one more time.
Which one?
Just read very nice. 15 seconds and 30 seconds. And for the spiritual healing.
Yeah, you
Our
read it.
first sponsor.
Phil, that's right.
The Discover a New Path?
Just we need female voice, yeah.
Oh, female voice.
It says sponsor.
Something you don't have to worry about.
Do you have it?
My weight loss journey, something you
Oh,
don't have to worry
no,
about.
not yet.
Okay, everyone quiet. Tiffany?
Do I need to put my ears on?
Yes.
You don't need me, right?
No, just her.
Okay.
We're getting ready. Is Tiffany acting right now? I mean,
Okay.
you guys are still in the chair. I can see.
Okay.
Okay.
Discover a new
Wait,
path.
wait. We're cutting the sound and we're ready and action.
Discover a new path to inner peace with Shirley spiritual yoga meditation healer, chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and more. Call 424-542-9070 now for a free consultation and start your transformation today. All forms of payment accepted. Unlock your true potential with Shirley's spiritual yoga meditation healer. Experience chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and personalized meditation sessions to help you release blocks and manifest your dreams. With over 28 years of experience, Shirley has transformed lives worldwide. Don't miss the opportunity for a better, more balanced life.
Tiffany, you look great on camera. I love that dress. Because
Thank
that's my
you.
favorite color.
Thank you. I'll tell my
Favorite
relative.
color.
This
You look
is,
phenomenal.
thank you. This
I
is,
didn't get a chance to see it because my head was turned the other way. You
this
look
is
good.
from a relative.
Say goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye and see you next Sunday. On Field.
So if you're feeling stuck in life, as I am at times, and looking for a way to harness your inner power to create the life of your dreams, you need to check out Spiritual Yoga Meditation Healer.
Shirley, the master energy practitioner with 28 years of experience, offers full service like chakra balancing, cleansing, and meditation.
And if you're hearing sirens now, it's a sign to call now because nobody else can hear those sirens. The sirens are in your head. And what you'll do with those sirens is you'll learn to release stuck energy and sounds and manage the ups and downs of life and finally break free from the disappointment and struggle.
It's not just about her advanced credentials and experience, it's about results. Shirley has helped thousands around the world to create the life they've always dreamed of.
So, if you're ready to begin your journey toward a better life, call Spiritual Yoga Meditation Healer now at 1-424, that's 1-424-603-4111.
Don't wait any longer to unlock your true potential. Call 1-424-603-4111 and embark on your journey to happiness and fulfillment today.